Oh, good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Happy February, February 25th, Erin.
I know, which means we're getting close to pink, which I am sure we will share a little bit about. I know we're still on the hunt for volunteers for those that are in our area, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But it's exciting. And I think with all this cold weather and snowy weather on the East Coast, like a night of beauty and skincare is amazing for us.
100%. I have to say your face is glowing, Erin. Looks beautiful. Perfect for the segment today.
Well, thank you, Acure. So there's that.
Well, welcome everyone. My name is Sue Weldon. For those of you that don't know me, I'm the CEO and founder of Unite for Her. We are so honored that you joined us this evening. And of course, I'm here with my colleague, Erin Pellegrin, no stranger to all of you. She is our Senior Director of Culinary Nutrition and Education. And we're really excited about tonight's topic, right?
Yes, we love this. Acure has been a partner with Unite for Her from the get-go.
I'm the
And we're
get-go.
really excited to have this conversation. Sure, targeting our skincare, certainly through treatment, but I know that we'll be learning tonight, and this is applicable to all of us. So we're really happy to be highlighting the amazing products and learn a little bit how we can support our skin, whether it's during treatment as skins are changing, as the seasons are changing. So it'll be a really great night.
Yeah, agree 100%. And with some of the products too, I just love the tips on how to use the products because sometimes less is more and we use too much and then it runs out and then we're thinking it's too expensive because it's running out and it's just
Yeah.
not the case. So we are so honored to have an expert on with us tonight. That's Rachel Rothman. We'll be talking with her shortly, but first, a little bit of housekeeping, right, Erin?
Absolutely. Yes, you got it. So,
Okay,
of
so
course,
oh,
yeah, you
go
want to
ahead.
jump in?
No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, we are excited to have our virtual hangout tonight, and we uh, are not all the way through our February events, but we could not continue to bring you our education events without the support of our sponsors. And we are so grateful for their ongoing promotion and support and motivation to bring experts and topics that are important and relevant to the Unite for Her community. So, this evening's virtual hangout is presented through UFH Connect by West, Merck, Lilly, Novartis, and Gilead Sciences. We have additional support from our gold sponsors, Pfizer, GSK, and Daiichi Sankyo. And we have additional support from Tercera Therapeutics and Veristem Oncology. So we are so grateful to them. I know we're just kicking off 2026. We've got a lot more to come, but we are forever grateful for continuing to support our UFH Connect education program.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're seeing some of our strong supporters that really invest in Unite for Her, Acure being one of them, have invested in us over and over again. And it does allow you to see how that investment translates to such growth, where we're serving over 10,000 individuals across the nation. So we cannot thank those that really lean in and are partnering with us. And we are most grateful, as Erin said. So just a couple reminders, for our Zoom callers. Please keep yourself on mute. We know that one by now. It just allows for no background chatter. Of course, you can put any question that you have in the chat. Erin and I will be watching that chat to ensure that your questions are answered in real time or at the end. So no, make no mistake, we will get to your question for sure. We have a nice intimate setting tonight, so we should have no trouble getting to all of your questions. You can always raise your hand if you want to, which is that nice little icon, and then unmute yourself. And we're always happy to have those conversations if we don't have too many on tonight, which tonight could work, right, Erin? That's fine.
Yeah, I
A
love
little,
that. And this is a topic that I think is conducive to a lot of hand raising.
yeah.
So we'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, agree. And then, of course, we are recording. So, that is for all those that might have registered and missed, or people who want to come back and see this segment again, do a little walkthrough, understand the routine, how to use your beauty care, what order to use them in, what they're good for side effect symptoms with skin management during chemotherapy and radiation treatments. All of that is why we do these recordings so that we can have it available for our entire community for whenever they are available, just meeting them where they are, which is so key at Unite for Her. We meet you where you are. Couple reminders, Erin, if you want to give us the Ask the Experts that's coming up tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have that tomorrow afternoon. So our Ask the Experts, we do stream live to Unite for Her's Facebook page. We'll be streaming at 1 p.m. Eastern. And Sue and I will have the pleasure to be joined by the founder and CEO and longtime Unite for Her advisor from Heal Well Cal Cates. And together we will be talking about how we can better understand the spectrum of grief and loss in the metastatic breast cancer community. So, it's a difficult conversation. It's a difficult topic. Grief and loss can look like a lot of different things for each individual person that is moving through their season of life and what that may look like. So just kind of coming to grapple with that and understand. And of course, Cal will be answering questions from our Unite for Her community. We've had a few submitted already, so you're welcome to share those questions. And of course, if you can't join us, that will be recorded and in our video library. But we're really looking forward to that thoughtful and kind conversation around what can be a really difficult topic. So we'll be having that tomorrow, Thursday at 1 p.m. And then I'll just say, we can all get ready for March because I know our dietitian team is excited because it's National Nutrition Month. So you can expect lots of nutrition and education forward topics coming to you all month long. Follow us on social media, subscribe to our newsletter. We'll be promoting all of those, talking about a lot of different topics, but we've got great events coming throughout the entire month of March.
I love it. I feel like we're so lucky here at Unite for Her because we get National Nutrition Month every day of the year. We have kids in the office and always picking your brain and asking you so many questions, which,
Yeah,
well, we're fortunate. Yeah, please take advantage of our dietitian team. They are the best and are asked to speak at many of the symposiums. So we have them right there at your fingertips anytime you need. Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, so I think that's about it. Erin, shall we get ready to bring on our guest?
I love it. Let's do it.
Right in the center. All right, Rachel. You are on. So, Rachel is one of our longtime partners, as you know. Rachel Rothman is a marketing manager at Acure, where she leads digital storytelling, content, and community for one of the pioneers in the clean clinical care space. A longtime clean skincare advocate and user herself, Rachel is passionate about educating others on the ingredient transparency and how thoughtful, effective products can support both skin health and overall well being. She loves helping people better understand what they're putting on their skin to feel confident, choosing products that truly do work for them. Okay, please have our guest welcome tonight. This is Rachel Rothman.
Perfect. Thank you, Sue, for
Thank
the
you.
awesome introduction. And always thank you to Unite for Her for having us. We truly, truly honor this partnership and love supporting this community and love to help out where we can, whether it's speaking, in person or, getting our products in everyone's hands. So yeah, today we want to talk about skincare that you should be using during treatment. And kind of when we talk about skincare during treatment, I feel like kind of in the skincare realm, I work in marketing. So a lot of my conversations, wrap around, how do we anti-age? How do we follow the trends? How do we use like what everyone else is using? But I feel like when we're talking about skincare during treatment, we're not talking about like, oh, like how do I follow the trends or like how do I follow anti-aging? It's like how do we support, the comfort of your skin during this time? Just because, as you're going through treatment, I know that your skin can just feel really different than it ever has before. I know that sometimes, your skin could be a certain way and then going through treatment, it can get thrown all of the curveballs and it can be super overwhelming on just not knowing where to start, and what is going to make your skin feel most comfortable. So I know I've heard some common themes of kind of going through treatment where your skin might feel tighter, drier, more reactive. So what I want to do today is just go over things on how to, number one, kind of simplify your skin routine, but also how to use products that will support your skin barrier. And as always, I'll always put the disclaimer, everyone's skin is different. Everyone's skin is going to react differently. So of course, follow up with, your doctors, your provider, your oncology team, if you have any super specific questions. But today I definitely want to focus on, how do we focus on hydration, soothing your skin, and really using products that'll support sensitive and compromised skin. So, kind of as I'd mentioned, when you go through treatment, your skin can, to make a little list, it can become drier, more sensitive, tighter. I've heard of like redness or inflamed, flaky, and sun sensitive is another big one. So we'll definitely be talking about how SPF is really, really important to use in our routines. So, the thing about sensitive skin is I feel like people get really overwhelmed when their skin becomes really sensitive. They kind of think, oh, like, do I have to cut down on my routine? Do I like, it's hard because when you feel like you have really sensitive skin, you get nervous on like what to put on it. But definitely, with the help of clean skincare and especially Acure, it's definitely not overwhelming. I think using clean products, I always just say working for a clean skincare brand, it's almost like when I recommend products to somebody, it's almost such, it's a blessing that I can almost never recommend the wrong thing because when you're putting clean, clinical, proven products on your skin, it's not going to, give really anybody like a really huge reaction. So, when a lot of our products do something which is called protecting your skin barrier. And the easiest way that I like to explain protecting your skin barrier is that you can think of your skin as a brick wall. So when the brick wall is really, really strong, it locks moisture in and keeps irritants out. But during treatment, obviously, things can happen where that wall can weaken. So instead of like wanting to like correct and exfoliate and use actives, your job becomes more of protecting and building that wall to have that really healthy skin barrier. I think it's really important that this is not the time where you want to push your skin or correct your skin or try to like, really attack a certain like problem you might be having. It's really time to just keep that moisture in and support it. So building a routine around, locking in that moisture, taking care of sensitive skin. I kind of put together a helpful kind of guide on like what you can do for a morning routine and a night routine. So I will start with the morning routine. And I will start by saying, I think especially when you have sensitive skin, even though I am not going through treatment myself, I do have sensitive skin. And I think before I really got educated in skincare and started working for Acure, I would try all these different products. I would almost think that I needed more steps, but I feel like as my skin started healing and my skin barrier started getting stronger, I actually realized I needed less steps. That simple can be really, really powerful. So the big three that I would say to have like a really simple skincare routine for sensitive skin is you want to cleanse, you want to hydrate, and you want to protect. So the first step for a morning skincare routine would be a nice, gentle cleanse. And I actually wanted to use products that have been gifted in the care boxes as well, so you guys can have them on hand and use them. So the first step would be a gentle cleanse. And the one in the box is the Seriously Soothing Cleansing Cream. This one is actually my everyday cleanser. I keep one in my shower, I keep one on my sink, and then I keep one in my travel bag. I take it everywhere. If I do not wash my face with this cleanser, I am upset just because this is the best cleanser I've ever used. It's very, very creamy. It's not necessarily a gel cleanser. I found that sometimes with if you have something like really foamy or if you have like a gel cleanser, it kind of starts to like, if you've ever washed your face and it feels tight afterwards, I think in the past I would think, oh, that means it's like working, like it's cleaning my skin, but then it feels really tight. Um, it's not supposed to feel like that. Your skin should feel not necessarily like super moisturized, but your skin should feel just like clean and healthy after you wash your skin. It shouldn't feel super like tight or dry or like you need to put moisturizer on it right away. So the Soothing Cleansing Cream, really, really nice creamy texture, really easy to lather, and a little goes a long way as well. So you can either use it, and you can use it in the shower or you can use it in the sink as well. It doesn't doesn't matter. What I would say is after you cleanse and you do want to kind of dry your face, sometimes it's easy, especially if you're in a rush, to like really like just take the towel and go all in on your face. What I found with sensitive skin is after you wash your face and you do want to get it a little drier before you start putting on more products, don't rub your face, just like pat it nice and dry with some towels. Another pro tip that I have found with sensitive skin is on Amazon, they sell these. I don't know if Erin, if you'll be able to find it quickly, but they're like reusable towels. So instead of using your towel to dry your face, where your towel holds lots of bacteria, maybe you've used that towel on your body, maybe other people's hands have been on the towel. Like I think we always think our towel is clean. But for my sensitive skin, I've actually found it like breaking out less and like some less irritation, just using like a nice sterile, like clean towel after you do your cleanser. It's just a little pro tip for the sensitive skin girls.
And
Um,
Rachel, I have a question
yeah.
because I actually heard you mentioned, really drying. And I have heard that when you're putting moisturizer on, whether it's on your face or you're using something on your body, you do actually want to have it still be a little damp as you're
Mhm.
putting that moisturizer on. So something like that towel that you're mentioning might help. It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
bone dry before we put our moisturizer on.
No, not at all. And these like sterile towelettes that you can use to like to get out the bacteria, it won't necessarily make it super dry either. You can kind of just like give it a nice pat, and then that can actually go into the next step, which is your moisturizer. So Erin was actually completely right. Your face does not have to be bone dry before you put on your moisturizer. So the moisturizer that is in the care boxes is the Ultra Hydrating 12-hour facial moisturizer. This is also one of my favorites. When I found out of all the products that were in your care boxes, I was like, this is awesome because I know how to talk about these products. These are all my favorites. I use them almost every day. So as you can see, it is in a smaller bottle. I think some people get thrown off by that. They're like, it's a facial moisturizer. Like, why is it so small? It's because a little goes a long way. This stuff is the most hydrating thing I've ever put on my face. I definitely take this. I have very combination skin, so if I ever go on trips where I'm like in the desert or in drier climates, this stuff is a lifesaver. So if you're looking for moisture, this one is your best friend. So, yep, after you cleanse, your face doesn't have to be completely dry. You can just take literally a pea size of this, a little goes a long way, I mean it, and just pat it nice into the face. And your face will feel super moisturized after and very hydrated since you didn't like have to rub your face after you cleansed. So that would be the second step. And then going into the third step, kind of between the second and the third step, also in your care boxes, we have an optional product. You can use this morning and night. Optional either, but if you wanted to do a little add-on, our Resilience Eye Balm is really, really great. Great for dark circles, great for tightening if you're seeing any signs of like fine lines, but also very clean. No actives in here, nothing that is going to irritate any sensitive skin. And another little girl life hack, I found that if I use this in the morning, I just take a little, put it on my ring finger. Usually your ring finger will be the most gentle to put on your under eye area. You don't want to be rubbing too hard there. But if you put a little on in the morning before you put on any sort of makeup, it really helps the creasing as well. So it like gives you that really like nice hydration under your eyes and then also kind of acts as, kind of like a makeshift clean primer for your makeup as well. And then after that, for the morning, definitely in the morning, the most important step is the SPF. Sue, do you have the SPF with you?
I do.
Perfect. She can show it
Hmm.
for me. I do not have it on hand, but we have
Yeah.
an SPF day cream. And the only tip that I would say with that is kind of let your skincare sink in for a minute or so before you put on the SPF, just so they don't all kind of like start going together. I know some people, when you use especially a clean or a mineral SPF, it can cause some pilling. So I would definitely say, if you have the extra time, lean into that self-care time, let the first couple products sink into your skin and then go in with the SPF. I would say, like, use as much as you want there. You're not going to be using too much SPF. So that one's super, super important to use for the daytime.
Rachel, I have a question. because
Yeah.
I do use the SPF because I am told over and over again I must put sunscreen on my face every day. Uh, it seems to be a little thicker.
Mm.
And then I could see like whiteness, even in my eyebrows, and I have to really rub it in. Is that something that just make sure you rub it in well, or it will eventually just dissipate? Um,
Yep. So that's super normal. I will say that is kind of a disclaimer that I say for clean SPFs. The main ingredient that makes it do that is it's a mineral sunscreen, so meaning we use zinc oxide. So if you use any sort of zinc sunscreen that is zinc oxide sunscreen, that is where you're kind of going to see the whiteness. So that is something that I give a little disclaimer on. Something that I have found, and it's not an Acure product, so don't come after me, but it is a clean product. When I mix the zinc oxide sunscreen, I mix it with the brand is called Say, and they have these like glowy drops, and it's a very, very hydrating, almost like serum-like texture to kind of just give some extra glow to your skin. It's also really, really pretty that if you're going to put a little bit of makeup on top, but kind of like a hack to kind of get rid of the whiteness a little if you want to combine it with another clean, yeah, like a bronzing drop, a glow drop. Also, what I found works if you want to put a little bit of the sunscreen and then mix a little of the 12-hour moisturizer would work too. If you kind of mix them together, that'll kind of help the whiteness rub in a little more too. Just
okay, I think
little
I
hacks
found it.
for the
Is it
white.
SAIE? Say, is that
Mm-hmm.
the one?
Yep.
Okay, I'm actually going to put
Great,
the link in
great
Amazon.
clean beauty brand if anybody's looking for clean makeup recommendations.
I
Great.
love their skin tint.
Me too, Erin.
Oh yeah,
That's the one that I
nice.
use too, and I'll mix my sunscreen with it too.
Oh gosh,
Really,
I don't
really.
know why that link is so long. That can't be right.
If
It
it's a
is
Sephora
right.
link,
I
it
am
might be kind of
sorry. It's an Amazon link and it's awfully long, but it is the right link. So here it goes. Yeah.
awesome. And then I saw somebody with a question too, for the brand for the sterile
Towelettes.
towels.
Yeah, we were looking for
Doesn't
them.
matter. I literally just search on Amazon, like, you could probably just do like face washing towels. I know you can just search the most basic stuff on Amazon and you'll get some recommendations. So,
And
whatever one you
disposable,
see.
right? Or reusable.
Yep,
Which ones?
disposable. Yep, I think it comes with like I think
Okay.
there's tons of like 100. Um, so yeah, so it doesn't
And I
really
do
matter.
see another question, which I think is the age-old question.
Mhm.
If you have a serum, is it be applied before your moisturizer or after, or how do you layer or work that in?
Yes. So if you do have a serum, I would say in general with sensitive skin, definitely be careful, do your research on serums. I think a lot of serums can kind of have sneaky actives or like sneaky ingredients in there that might irritate your skin barrier. So I would definitely make sure if you are going to use a serum and you are having very sensitive reactive skin, definitely make sure it's just a very moisturizing, a very like hydration based serum. So if you wanted to put in a Acure example, maybe like the Brightening Glow Serum would be a great Acure, very simple, very hydrating serum that you would use. But yes, correct, Erin. You would want to wash your face, and then it could still be a little damp as well. Again, don't like totally get your face bone dry, but you would apply your serum. There's no like super right or wrong way to apply your serum. The only thing is like you don't really want to rub in. You just want to nice pat it into the skin. Again, with serums, give it a few minutes, and then you would put your moisturizer on. So yes, serums would go between cleansing and your moisturizer. And
And
then,
Kristen does have her hand raised if we want to take a moment. And
sure.
Kristen, if you want to ask your question.
Yes, no, I just wanted to confirm I do have the Acure brightening serum. So I was just asking about the order of, so that was my question about the serum, but I do have the Acure brand. So
Yay.
yay, thank you.
Mhm. And then, so I just talked about the morning routine. So the night routine, there's really nothing too different here. So at night, you also want to cleanse your face. You can use the same cleanser, same kind of routine that I said before, but something that you can do at night. And Sue, I'm wondering if you have this one as well as the whipped night cream.
I
Oh,
have.
wait. I actually have this one. I'm talking gibberish over here. I literally have it
Oh,
sitting right
good.
here. Maybe I didn't recognize it because it is in our old packaging.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have
but
one that's the brightening night cream.
Okay. I mean, that one would work too. So I would say the
Mhm.
main difference between morning and night when we're talking about our moisturizers, if you want to use something, heavier, like a lot more hydrating, I know sometimes in the morning, like you wouldn't necessarily want to use like an overnight cream or anything super, super heavy, just if you're going to put makeup on top or if you're going out for the day. But seriously, there's nothing that I love more than doing my nighttime skincare routine and feeling like just a glazed donut. Like I don't even care if I can feel the products on my skin. I want to feel so hydrated, so like plump, so glowy before I go to bed. So this whip night cream, it is a little heavier, say than like the 12 hour. The 12 hour is super moisturizing, but it'll dry down a little bit quicker. The whip night cream, not that it doesn't dry down, but it definitely feels a little heavier and will kind of lock in that moisture more long term. So your skin, will feel super moisturized as you're going to bed, and you will still see those moisture results as you sleep. So in general, if you're looking to use, a little bit of a heavier moisturizer, use it at night, and then you'll see that hydration still locked in the morning. And then, yeah, another optional one would be we also have an overnight mask. I don't have that one with me, but that is also,
I did.
Sue has it. Awesome.
But you gave
Um,
us this as well. So
Awesome.
good.
So, yeah, after the whip night cream, you can also go in. This is definitely an optional one, but if you're kind of feeling like, the whip night cream dried down or your heavier moisturizer dried down and you wanted to do something super, super moisturizing and really wake up with that, glazed donut feel, this overnight mask is really, really great. You will definitely go to bed feeling, a little moisturized. You'll feel it on your skin. But if you're kind of needing like an overnight kind of like fix of putting that hydration into your skin. It's really, really great.
Rachel, how often would you do the overnight mask? Is that just like a once a week, month?
Honestly, I would say as needed. Again, with all clean skincare products, there's not necessarily, we don't have very many products at all where we would recommend, hey, like only use this, once a week or anything like that. Technically safe to use every night if you really wanted to. But I usually just use my really hydrating products just as I feel as needed. Sometimes when you just kind of feel like you need a little bit more like self-care, if you want to feel like you want to have like a little glow up by the morning.
Great.
Um, cool. So the next
Excuse
thing,
me, I have a question.
yeah.
Hi. So, the overnight mask, you said I didn't hear exactly what you said. Should it stays on or you need to rinse it off?
No need to rinse it off. Nope, so it'll stay on.
Okay, right, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Great question. Yeah.
I do have one more question for you, Rachel, just in case. I think sometimes some of the terms can be confusing. So when you say actives,
Hmm.
what do you mean?
Yep. So that was going to be my next thing that I was going into. So it's
Oh,
great.
good. Great.
So actives are something that is the easiest way to describe it is just like an ingredient in there that is going to target a certain concern. So like an active would be like, for example, if anybody's ever struggled with, acne and something has salicylic acid in it, it's like that is an active. You will kind of like smell it, you will kind of feel it. It's kind of a harsher ingredient to target a certain concern. So, I do have a list of kind of like some ones to avoid or kind of pause, especially if you're going through treatment or if your skin is very, sensitive or compromised. So I would say kind of the top ones that we kind of want to avoid that are considered actives are retinoids. I know we always really, really want to go into our retinol, especially as we're aging. I started my retinol in my 20s. But and everyone's different. I know a lot of brands do make gentle retinols. So if you wanted to attach another product, we do a plant-based retinol. So it's not necessarily an actual retinol, active. It's more of a plant-based one. And I've seen some really great results from that. And it's safe to use every single night. But if you are using like a harsher retinol, that is something to look out for. Some other ones to look out for are AHAs and BHAs. Another one is any physical scrubs. So we do have a very gentle facial scrub if you do feel like you need a little exfoliation. But anything like super, super harsh and scrubby normally isn't great for me when my skin feels, tight, red, and irritated. Vitamin C can normally be okay used in small amounts, but I know I've done some research and I know some other brands put like almost way too much vitamin C in their serum that is actually needed. So vitamin C also can be considered an active in a high dose. And then, when you use sensitive skin, these are kind of ones that, most people kind of think of when you do like any like fragrance heavy formulas. I know a lot of people with sensitive skin, will automatically just kind of write stuff off if they have fragrance in them, just because those can have additives and stuff that can disrupt your skin barrier. And then any alcohol-based toners. So those are kind of the main ones that you kind of want to avoid. And then, when we say actives, it's those kind of harsher ingredients that target concerns and, aren't meant to lock moisture into your skin. But the ones that I would say that you do want to prioritize, I've said it a million times already, is like anything that prioritizes hydration and barrier support. So there definitely are products, as you're shopping, if it's not Acure, if you're shopping in another like clean skincare brand or clean skincare section, ingredients that can kind of help attract moisture, calm the skin, and support the barrier are ingredients like glycerin, hyaluronic acids, ceramides. Shea butter is a really, really good one if you're looking for any sort of body lotion. If your body is feeling really, really dry and reactive, shea butter is super, super moisturizing. Aloe is another one. And then kind of how we talked about the sunscreen too, like the zinc oxide for any mineral SPFs. Does anybody have any questions on that? I know it's overwhelming and confusing when it comes to ingredients.
We do have a question. I love this.
I do
Certainly, when we
too.
think about skin, yeah, like
Yeah.
a person's nails and hands.
Yeah.
Does Acure have any products that you would recommend that they could use for their nails, around their nails, on their skin and hands?
Yes, so I would recommend our argan. Some people say argan, some people say argon, but we have a little bottle of argan oil, and that is such a multi-use product for hydration. We used to sell it actually in these little tins that almost looked like pills, but now we just have it in the dropper bottle, which is still super easy to carry around. But you can use it anywhere that feels dry. So you can use it on your skin if it's feeling super dry. I use it on the ends of my hair if I'm like really needing a haircut and my hair is feeling super dry. Definitely would be careful with this, but I know some people have experimented of even putting it like on their eyelashes for like eyelash health and growth, and then that can also help with the fingernails as well. So I'd say the argan oil, or if you're just looking for a basic lotion, right now from Acure, I think the only lotion that we have available right now is, and it might still be out of stock online, but it will be coming back soon if it is out of stock, is our new Apricot Lane Farms launch. We have a body lotion that's really, really great if you're just looking for, like a hand lotion, but anything for fingernails, argan oil, I would definitely say.
I love those little capsules. I remember them.
Right? I know. We
They were
actually,
great. I was just
yeah.
afraid that people would want to eat them. So I was
My thought exactly. I know
I
we
was like, ooh, this packaging might be confusing.
we just put the rest of them up on our website. I think just a few months ago, we like, as we did our package transition, we needed to get rid of some of the old products. So I was like giving them away. I was like bragging about them. I was like, use them because they're
They
not
are great.
back. I
Yeah.
know you can just like pop
Yeah.
them like right in your purse.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're really, really great.
So we have another repeat of the list of the priorities again. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
put
I
them
can
in
totally read
order, I would love, Rachel, if we maybe sometime today or tomorrow, if you just put your notes in a document that we could
that.
actually put up for our
Yeah,
community.
totally.
I think it's nice to have
Yeah,
in front of them. I think we always forget. A part of me is thinking like, okay, wait a minute, when do I do my serum again? Is it the first?
yes,
The
totally. I'm
yeah.
super, super happy to make a cheat sheet for you guys so everyone
That would
can.
be great. We would love that. And we'll brand it and have it on our site and also on this Ask the Experts as well, or virtual hangout.
Yeah,
So could you
love it.
please repeat the list of
Yes,
things
of
to
course. Yes.
prioritize?
So ingredients to look for as you're shopping for your skincare are ones that attract moisture, calm the skin, and support the barrier. So a list of some really, really great ingredients that promote moisture in your skin are glycerin, hyaluronic acid, ceramides, shea butter, aloe, and zinc oxide for mineral SPFs.
Great. And then
Cool.
the order of your routine one more time.
Yeah, yeah. So morning would be cleanser, And then serum, if you want to use a very gentle moisturizing serum. And then the next step would be, did I ever say moisturizer? So it'd
Nope,
be
not
cleanse,
yet.
serum, moisturizer, and then SPF for the morning. And then for the evening, it would be cleanse, serum if you're using one, and then a heavier night cream. So I used the whip night cream as an example, and then an optional overnight mask if you're needing some more hydration.
I know you have the day cream with the SPF. Does that day cream act as the moisturizer plus SPF, or is that a different product?
It definitely could. I think it all just depends on your skin type, right? So if you're kind of feeling like you don't need that extra hydration, you always could just go in with the SPF that kind of also acts as a moisturizer if you're not feeling like you need that extra moisture. I personally have like enough combination skin and I get very dry in my T-zone, so I kind of feel like it's just helpful for me to kind of have that like layer of hydration before I go in with my SPF. But if you are more of an oily skin kind of girl, then you might not need that extra layer of moisture. But I would definitely say, I mean, the biggest thing that I say with skincare is I've learned a lot about it is, you always want to do, there's an order of things. You want to cleanse, you want to use your serum, and then, you want to use your moisturizer and then your SPF. But other than that, like what products you use, how much of it you use, how long you wait between, application, like it really is just what makes your skin feel good, and what you feel like feels like works for you.
Great. I know,
Wonderful.
Kristen, you have your hand up, Kristen.
I
Yeah.
do, thank you. I don't know if this is your specialty, Rachel, but do you, of your shampoo and conditioner line, do you have any recommendations for those of us that have been through chemo and our hair is now growing back, and anything that would help the growth process or speed? I don't know if it's possible to speed it up or not, but I've been trying some different stuff and haven't really landed on anything I like. So,
Yeah. I would say in general, we don't have shampoo and conditioner with ingredients that technically like promote hair growth per se. But we do have shampoo and conditioners that do have ingredients that, promote the health like of the hair that you currently have. So not
okay.
necessarily any hair growth ingredients. But I would say if you have like drier hair and you're looking for some more moisture in your hair, our ultra hydrating shampoo and conditioner are best sellers and definitely a fan favorite. Everyone loves those. And then we also, our bonding line is also really, really popular. Our bonding hair care supports the strength of your hair, keeps those hair bonds nice and strong. So not necessarily promoting hair growth, but if we want to keep the hair, that we do have super healthy and keep it growing healthy, I would definitely recommend our bonding shampoo and conditioner.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really great.
And we had a couple questions, Rachel. Squalene came up a couple times if you know anything about that ingredient. And I know you had mentioned the uh forgive me if I am mispronouncing this, but the plant-based retinol, the
Mhm.
bakuchiol.
Lucio, there you go.
You
It's
sound
a
it
hard
out.
one.
If you
It's
want
a
to
hard one.
reiterate what you were saying about that in terms of if that might be something that someone could safely use or they should refrain from using.
Yes. So for squalene, we don't use that in Acure, so I definitely don't want to speak too broadly on anything that is not in our products, but I do know that it is used in a lot of clean skincare products. So I would definitely, do some, it's actually a lot easier to do some like clinical research more than you might think it is. I know this sounds silly, but now we like live in the world of AI where they can pull from really, really trusted resources. So if you ever want to learn anything more, about any sort of ingredient, that has been very, very helpful, even for me, like in the marketing space on how we want to talk about ingredients. So don't necessarily have all the information on squalene, but for the bakuchiol, that is like the main ingredient in our plant-based retinol. So if you're looking for a much more gentle retinol alternative, I would definitely recommend the bakuchiol would also be safe to use. I've learned with that one, we do have some serums that have, not necessarily actives, but are, a little bit more targeted for like fine lines, which would be like our zombie serum, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend for people in treatment. But even with my like sensitive skin, sometimes I'll feel like a little reaction when I use that. But with the bakuchiol, when you see like a plant-based retinol, you're like, oh, that might be like super irritating. I feel like instant calmness in my skin when I use the bakuchiol. So that could definitely be a good one to recommend.
Good to know.
Yeah. And then I guess that's kind of like what I was just saying. I just have like some tips on if your skin starts to feel super reactive, kind of how I was saying, like sometimes I put on a serum, I'm like, oh, nope, like too much, like need to pull back. Kind of some tips on that if you are feeling like your skin is being super reactive. I would definitely say the first things to eliminate first would be a serum if you are using one, and then like any additional masks or like heavier products that you're using. So when my skin kind of starts flaring up and acting up, do not be scared to kind of take things out of your routine. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not, you're not messing up in any means. So like it's always okay. If you feel like your skin's being super reactive, to just drop down to a cleanser and a moisturizer. Simple really can be better, especially if your skin kind of feels like it's acting up a little bit.
Great. I did put our discount code in the chat. Acure is so generous with the Unite for Her community, with our, programming and our members. So you'll see that there. If you want to make some orders today, you'll have a 20% off gift discount.
Yeah. Awesome. Love it.
Mhm.
That's kind of all the information I have, but I know if we still have a little more time, I'm happy to. I do have some products with me, and I know Sue has some products with her as well. So if you guys have any questions on maybe some of the products I talked about, or if you have any questions on like the best way to apply it, yeah, happy to demo anything, demo any requests anybody might have.
I would love to start. I just want to know the amount, like the amount to use, because
Okay.
sometimes I feel like, less is more, and
Mhm.
I'm afraid like I'm not using enough. And I guess you can tell by your skin if it absorbs a lot, you might need a little bit more. If it doesn't, you're good. But where would you start with your amount?
Yeah, I would say for your cleanser, I usually use my cleanser in the shower. So like if I ever feel like I kind of like squirt a little too much, it's kind of easy for me to just like get rid of a little bit of it. But I would say with your cleanser, especially if you're using like a creamy cleanser like this one, I would say a quarter size of amount in your hand. I would demo, but then it would be a little hard for me to get the stickiness off of my hand. But I guess I can do like a little bit. You can kind of see like it's a very, very like creamy texture. So I would say probably like a quarter size for your cleanser is a great, great place to start. Or if you're just worried about like if you don't use cleanser a lot and you wanted to start with less, there's nothing wrong with that either. And then for the 12-hour facial moisturizer, I was talking about how like the packaging is small and people would be like, oh, like, that's so small. Like, how do you get enough out of there? I'm not kidding when I say when you're using this little guy, literally that much, like maybe a little bit more than a pea-sized amount, like will spread really, really easily into your hands and definitely be enough for your face and sometimes your neck as well. So definitely with the smaller packaging, with that 12-hour, you do not need to be using much. But if you accidentally use too much, it's not a problem either. It actually dries down really, really nice. And then for the whipped night cream, kind of like up to you. It kind of just depends like how moisturized you want to be at night. But you'll kind of see like when this one rubs in, it just becomes sheer really, really quick and really, really nice. I actually was demoing this one earlier as I pulled it out of my cabinet just because I knew I wanted to talk about it. Honestly, if you wanted to keep this on your desk and use it on your hands too, it's really, really nice and keeps your skin super moisturized. So the only like tip I would give is, for the 12-hour, just you don't have to use too much at all. A little goes a long way. And then for the Resilience Eye Balm, my hands are all oily now. You can use the smallest amount of this. Like I have been using this for, I think I just opened up a new one. So I've been using this for probably about a week and there's barely a dent in it. So when you pull out of here, I use my fingernails. I don't know how like, sanitary that might be, but you can literally use like the tiniest bit. So I'll usually just put a little bit on my finger And then again, like with your ring finger, I think I had said this, like your ring finger, has the least amount of strength in your hand. So you'll know like when you're pressing under your under eye, like be gentle for sure, but it's kind of just interesting how crazy our bodies are that like, your ring finger doesn't push as hard as your other fingers. But something for good for this one is just definitely a dab, not a drag. We don't want to be like putting friction,
Oh,
rubbing our under eyes. We just want to do like,
that's
Man, I'm
that's a
seeing you
really
in
good
and now I'm
call
like
out.
darn.
I know. Well, and we did have a question. So the Resilience Eye Balm, is it good for dark spots under the eyes? And I guess, and in addition, I'm seeing you use it under the eye. Would it be something that someone could also use on their lid or under their brow even? Or do we want to stay away from above the eye too?
I mean, again, it's a clean product, so it definitely won't hurt anything. But what this one is definitely made for is people who might have like drier under eyes. So it number one gives lots of moisture to the under eyes. And then the second thing that it would target is definitely the signs of fine lines.
Okay.
So I mean, I would say in general, like when you do apply it, automatically, like when your under eye is very moisturized, it will kind of help the look of the dark circles. So yes, it can definitely help. But the main thing with this one will be moisture and fine lines for under the eye. And then if you wanted to take it like into your crow's feet too, that's okay. But I definitely wouldn't recommend putting it anywhere like too close to your eyes that it could like go into your eye when you're sleeping or anything like that.
Got it.
That's great.
Yeah, great for puffiness under the eyes too. I feel like the beautiful thing about putting moisture into your skin, just because, the more moisturized your skin is, the better your skin barrier is going to be, and the healthier your skin is going to appear. So, will help with fine lines, puffiness, redness, all that fun stuff. But if you are looking for, and this is a non-Acure hack, this is just a skincare girl hack, the biggest change that I've seen in puffiness in my eyes is an ice roller. So, I do my ice rolling every morning. So that's like another good Amazon find. I keep my ice roller in my freezer. I wake up very puffy. That is just how my skin reacts. And I just do, when I'm drinking my morning tea or coffee in the morning, I just do a nice ice roll on my face, and it definitely helps with the puffiness. And it kind of like gives that nice prep. Your skin feels like nice and like cold and less puffy before you put on your skincare.
Nice. Is
That's a
that only for
great
the eyes,
idea.
or do you do the roller for everything?
I go ham.
Almost like
Go all over my
washa?
face.
Is that what that washa is? That washa stone? Am I saying that right?
Well, yeah, you can also put your gua sha in
Washa.
the
Yeah.
freezer if you wanted to. Gua sha definitely helps with lymphatic drainage. So honestly, it's so great to look. There's so many tutorials on TikTok or YouTube or wherever you get your content on how to gua sha. That's also another really great thing for puffiness. But no, for the ice roller, you can just get like a really thicker one on Amazon and just go in. It's great.
Very good. Gosh, I can't wait to go
Wonderful.
home. I can't wait.
Oh
I
my
can't wait to
gosh,
do
I
my
know.
routine.
I love that. And it's something is like the ice roller, right? Your it's just like such a simple tool, or putting your gua sha in the refrigerator or freezer just to chill it out. I love that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure we did have a question about jojoba oil, which gosh, I feel like that definitely was trendy for a long time. Is that safe? What might that be used for? Are you familiar with that ingredient at all?
Since we don't use it for a cure, I don't want to say anything that I'm not 100% confident in. So,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I don't know. I can always
That's
ask
okay.
our additional team to see if they have any,
Yeah.
clinical
We
information
should
on it.
ask Jolene, right? We can talk
Yeah,
to
you could always
Jolene.
ask
Absolutely.
Jolene. Yeah, I bet she
We
would
can
know.
we can get
Yeah,
back to you.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
And then I love the question from Mary, thinking seasonally. So, changing the types of products you might use, going from drier to warmer, where we might be a little bit oilier or more exposed to the sun. Should we be changing creams and products we're using as we move through the year?
Yeah, I would say you don't necessarily have to change your products, but you can definitely kind of change, either like the amount of product you're using. Because I think just in general, when everyone has drier skin in the winter, you always want to use a little bit more moisturizer. You might want to use that additional overnight mask, doing anything to kind of just get moisture into your skin. So I wouldn't necessarily say you need to change up your products, but maybe it's just how much of the products you're using and then maybe like eliminating any like extra moisture steps. If your skin gets a little bit more oilier in the summer. But no, it really doesn't, at least for me, I've never really felt like I've had to fully change up my skincare routine from, summer to winter using a cure. For the ice roller brand, again, on Amazon. Yeah, you can, there's so many on Amazon. If you wanted a little bit more, I did splurge on my ice roller because I know I'm an ice roller connoisseur. There is one from a brand called The Skinny Confidential, and that one is a metal ice roller. So it just gets like a little colder when you put it in the freezer. So it's a little bit more of like a luxurious experience if you like can really tolerate the cold on your face. So I really like that one, but there's a bunch of them on Amazon.
Amazing. We got one question just for those that may have oily skin and the products to use. And I don't want to forget to ask about makeup remover. Does Acure offer any sort of eye makeup remover? And then is that something a person does before they cleanse?
So for sure, we don't have a makeup remover anymore. We used to, and I still am like holding on to like old bottles of our makeup remover. It was really great. So I definitely I'm pushing to bring something back like that. But I would say a lot of the makeup removers, like if you're using like the Neutrogena towels or anything that like I would say in general, like if you're buying like a general makeup remover from the store, they'll usually have like I think alcohol is probably one of like the main ingredients in there that just can feel really, really extreme and tight. Like I remember when I was in college and you'd come home from hanging out with your friends and you just like put like the Neutrogena makeup and like your skin would hurt so bad afterwards. If you're not using a clean makeup remover, I would definitely say just try to get your makeup off as best as you can, just with splashing it with water. And then you're totally good to go in with your cleanse. So I would say in general, like if you feel like you're wearing heavy makeup, just like water and some light pressure with one of the towels will be fine before you go in with your cleanser.
Oh, I love
Great.
that. Water's free.
Water's free, I know. Erin, I think you asked a question before. What was the first question that you asked?
Yeah, we have someone here and they have oily skin. So
Oh, oily skin.
wondering if these
Mhm.
products would be good for someone with oily skin or if Acure has another division of their products that may be better.
Yeah, no, this stuff will totally still work for oily skin. The great thing about the 12-hour facial moisturizer is it's a much like lighter formula, so it dries down much quicker. So it shouldn't feel heavy even on oily skin, which is great. If you have just oily skin, maybe that would be more of a recommendation where I'd say like skip maybe like the overnight mask, just because that one is just like super, super hydrating. But no, I would say all of the products that are in the care boxes are still really, really great to use for oily skin.
And I know
A
there are
question on the,
bundles on your
yeah.
website. Do you have like a sample package that someone could use to try lots of different products or that might be under a certain brand? Is that something that might be available?
Yeah, I don't think we don't have anything in like any sample sizes or anything like
Hmm.
that. But if you did want to try the bundles, I would definitely recommend if you wanted to try a bunch of different products, just because we almost always have our bundles on sale. So you'll get a little bit of a deal if you want to buy multiple products at once. And we have so many concerns on there. So we have, I mean, I'm looking at our bundle page now. We have like a skincare over 40 bundle. We have a winter skincare bundle, which is like a bunch of hydrating products. We have like beginners bundles. So like we have concerns, we have ages, we have hair stuff on here. So definitely take a look at our bundles if you, are feeling a little overwhelmed and you maybe want to try, a few different products per concern.
Yeah. I saw a question about the discount code. I thought the same thing because I'm in here purchasing too, but I know what it is. So it can't be combined with any existing discounts. So for example, I'm putting in that Bacotrolol serum. Even though that is not discounted, I'm getting the Zombie Cell Clarifying Serum Mini for free. And that's that because I have that gift with my serum, it's not going to give a discount. It has to be something that does not have a free gift or is not already discounted. So that is the code. You might want to just start over and play around with some other products and you can see how it's working. But I thought the same thing, Rachel, when I went in because I wanted to get the serum and I thought a discount would come off of that. But they actually offered you a free gift with the serum, and that is also like an existing discount according to their system. So just keep trying some other items, but that is the correct code.
Thank you, Sue.
You got it.
If you need any, if your guys are having trouble with that, we do want to make sure that you guys can get the discount on products that work for you. So if you're having some troubles, just email me and I can also talk to our team and see what we can do for that.
Yep, you got it. You got it.
Wonderful. We did have one last question as I'm just perusing the chat about rosacea. And this may not be something that could be addressed, maybe something worth talking with a person's dermatologist if that's flared from a particular medication or treatment. But might these products as well be safe for someone that might have rosacea or could help soothe that redness?
Sure. Yeah, we're actually, you've caught us in the midst. We're actually in the middle of getting a bunch of clinical certifications so we can like officially say that our products are great for rosacea. But actually, all the products that are in our care boxes, rosacea is a form of having, sensitive skin and having redness. So I would say all of these products are safe and good to use if you have rosacea as well.
Great. And I actually just was texting Jolene. So she gave me an answer on the jojoba oil, and it's very great. It's a plant oil, and it's closest to the skin's natural serum. So that is from our Ask the Expert. So you are good.
Love
Mhm.
Jolene, just little hub of
I
knowledge.
know. She's so good. She is so good.
Cool.
I think we have one
Amazing.
question just about how safe it is for skin that's undergoing chemotherapy. This is why we have a cure because it is safe. Like we are the gold standard. We will not put anything in that cure box that isn't safe for our community. So that is a definite yes. This is why we use this brand. Jolene Hart is one of our advisors that does all products, not just a cure. And she is, just top of mind, giving us the best advice. We have a guide as well that you can find on our website. Erin, maybe you can pop in that guide. It's a beauty guide and skincare guide that just gives you all different types of products that are clean, really good to use without doing all that homework. Because sometimes it's a lot of work to figure out what is clean because people use that clean word often. So Acure, number one, they are the best. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rachel. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you guys so, so much. And yeah, Sue and Erin will follow up. Make you guys a little cheat sheet.
We love that.
I'll list out
100%.
the ingredients. And I'll even I know I saw another question come through of like, what products would you recommend with the Shea Butter and stuff like that. I'm happy to throw those in as well, as long with the routine order for you guys.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Cool.
All
Well, thank
right.
you
Well,
guys
Thank
so,
thank you
so
so
you.
much. Bye.
much. Talk soon. Bye.
All right. Well, I have my cart filled on Instagram.
I can tell. I think there's quite a delivery coming to your house, Sue. So,
Oh, I'm all about this roller. I'm like, what is a roller? Now I have
uh,
another one, but
yeah,
that feels very good to me. I feel like I would
yeah.
love that.
Because
Putting it
sometimes,
in
you
there.
just feel
Yeah.
puffy and swollen. And I think, right, just pulling in like some of those
No,
products, like, and just using a little bit of ice, can just
I
like
agree.
soothe that irritation and puffiness. I love that. So,
I do
that was
love the
great.
whole
I
water
feel,
thing too. Just clean your face
yeah,
with water. I'm like, okay, I did that right. I wasn't like buying like a special cleanser, and I feel like, all right, I did that one right.
I
Because I haven't
know. I
started a
know.
big beauty routine. I don't have a big one, Erin. You know that. So
Yeah.
just trying
Yeah.
to, start where I am, add one a day, right?
Right. Yeah. And her
There I
reminder, like we don't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be drying. It doesn't, it
yeah,
can feel really gentle and really
agree.
calm and it can still be effective. So I love that Rachel shared that. And I love that about a cure.
I know they are the best. We
Yeah,
appreciate
they
it.
are.
They are so good to Unite for Her. Not only do they give us all these full-size products that all of our community get to have in their care boxes, but they give us 10 cents on every day and night cream that you order across the nation. And that is a big amount of support that translates to more community members served. So very grateful to
Yeah,
them. All right,
absolutely.
Erin, I think that's a wrap. Yeah,
Wonderful. We all have to get to our bathroom so we can do our nighttime
I
routines
know.
now. So
Yeah. Well, thank you all
we'll
for
be
joining
hydrated.
us.
Yeah.
Just another shout out to our sponsors. We're so grateful for all of them. We can't do what we do without them, and their investment shows, right? So please just take some time to look at those incredible supporters that are leading the way with our presenting sponsors, West, Merck, Lilly, Gilead, and Novartis, and then our gold sponsors, GSK, Pfizer, Daiichi Sankyo, and supporting support from Terracera and Veristem.
Absolutely. And don't forget to join us tomorrow. We'll be streaming live to our Facebook page, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Sue and I will be joined by none other than Cal Cates. And together we will be talking about understanding grief and loss in the metastatic community and that spectrum of what that may include. So we will be having a really thoughtful, loving conversation together. So hopefully you will join us on our Facebook page. And then get ready for March, National Nutrition Month. Our culinary dietitian team will be cooking. We'll be talking supplements. Michelle will be talking about body kindness and leading with compassion through that talk. So we've got a lot of great talks coming your way. Again, follow us on social media, sign up for our newsletter, and we hope to see you at all or many of our upcoming education events.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you can't make it, know that we always have it recorded. Thank you all for joining us. We appreciate you. I love all
Thank
the
you.
hearts coming up, Erin. That's new. I feel like that's a new,
It is. I
I
love
don't
it.
remember
I
that.
love an emoji. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you. And thanks for all your great
Thank
questions and
you.
sharing. We
Oh,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
You
you
so
guys have a
much.
great
Thank
night.
You
you.
Have a
too.
great night,
Everybody.
Thank
everyone.
you,
Good
everyone. Have a
night.
great
You're
night. Good
welcome. Good
night.
night. All right, good night, Erin. I'm going to
Good
run to
night.
my next meeting.